Hi best friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please consider smashing on that subscribe button, and to my returning subscribers, hello, hi, welcome back. Right, so best friends, we're going to be reacting on don't do these 13 things in Finland. Right, I've reacted to a couple of Finland videos, and I can tell you for free, I'm getting to know the country little by little. I know I can't know everything, but with the few videos I've been reacting to lately, I'm getting to understand the country a little bit, right? So we're going to be checking this out today. I'm super excited. So let's visit Finland today. Let's see what it has for us.
If you're planning to come to Finland, there are definitely a few things you definitely want to avoid. And in this video, I'm going to teach you 12 those so you will be prepared. Let's go check them out. And if you're interested in Finnish culture, lifestyle and language, this is the perfect channel. Subscribe. The good old Finnish personal space. The action point is here simple. Don't just get too close too early. So when you are meeting with new person, shaking hands is fine. But for example, we don't do these cheek kisses. I would be uncomfortable with that. Once you just get to know them better, then you can gradually increase like the touching game. So for example, if you're gonna have a date with a Finnish person, you definitely want to take it easy at first, just get to know them and see how you click and how the chemistry builds up, and then you can add like this slight touching and build it from there. Because in my opinion, if you don't do any touching in the first dates, then you will just get friend zone. So it's kind of like contrasted. You don't need to do it, but then you kind of have to do it. But the point is here that just don't do it like in the very first moments you meet someone. And once you just get to know them better, then this kind of like a touching will be more okay.
It's not bad. They stick to time then.
Finns are probably the most punctual people in the whole world. And in Finland, if you come late, that is considered rude and disrespectful because it means that you are not valuing their time. So if you come like 15 minutes late, then it kind of implies that you just wasted 15 minutes of that person's time. So if you have a meeting with Finns at 5, it means 5 sharp. Or if you say, let's meet around 5, that's also 5 sharp. Around plus minus 5 minutes margin is okay. And if you will be late, just let them know that, hey, this cow fell on me from the blue sky. I'm gonna be 5 minutes late, okay? And that's all it.
You know, the Swedish girls are so sexy. The Swedish music kicks so much ass, like mwah.
So Finland shares a history with Sweden, and it can be still seen even today. One prominent sign of this is, for instance, that Swedish is still the second official language here. Yeah, so if you didn't know, we actually used to belong to Sweden back in the days and up till 19th century. Obviously, this has also resulted this kind of like more like a friendly rivalry today between Finland and Sweden. But some Finns still find this Sweden topic a little bit sensitive because we have always kind of been fighting over who's the better at ice hockey and these kind of things. So if you go ahead and just say like, Swedish girls are so sexy, or the Swedish ice hockey team is kicking ass, that can definitely cause some reactions in some Finns. Again, this kind of constructive conversation about Sweden is fine, but don't just go overboard and tell that Sweden is better at this and this and this, because that can be kind of nasty. Helsinki is a pretty kick-ass capital. I live here in Helsinki myself, but there are also lots of other cool cities in Finland. As you probably know, like Helsinki has kind of grown into this big metropole, lots of internationality, tourists and stuff. Once you just go beyond Helsinki, there can be even better, even more Finland, even better, fantastic experiences waiting for you. So I think it's a huge loss if you come to Finland and you just visit Helsinki. Obviously, it depends what kind of schedule you have, but at least at some point, remember to visit the cities outside of Helsinki, like Tampere, Turku, Jyväskylä, Oulu, you name it. Because these cities have not grown to kind of this international level as Helsinki, so you can actually find more authentic stuff. For example, in Tampere, they have the Pyynikki Tower, where you can get pretty kick-ass monkeys, and they have the Moomin Museum in Tampere. And then there is this museum of museums where you can find lots of different kinds of museums, including this video game museum in Tampere. Lots of these cool things. So make sure to check out outside of Helsinki as well. So Finns are often stereotyped as grumpy, unsocial, non-expressive people. And why? The reason for this is that Finns are just being Finns. So we don't really express our emotions or do like this overly gestured stuff unless there's a really good reason to do so. So in our everyday life we might just be like this, no matter what's the situation. But the number one thing that people usually forget here is that Finns usually open up more once they get to know you better, which can be sometimes challenging but definitely worth it. So if you have these experiences, like a few experiences with Finns that they don't really want to talk to you or they seem like it's just the reason that they don't know you enough, really, and you probably have to work a little bit and spend some time. But once you do, like Finns can be actually quite fun, passionate and expressive people once you just first of all find the right people and get to know them better.
Hey, I was just wondering, like, how much money do you make?
That's that. I get.
For some reason, money has always been quite challenging topic for Finns. And Finns are not just comfortable talking about their salary or their money habits or things they want to spend money on. However, I still think that there should be more of this constructive discussion about money. For example, like how to save money, how to invest money and build wealth. Because when you know how to save money and what to do with that saved money, you can actually build wealth quite easily. But the Finnish mindset has always been more like that you just need to spend the money that you will get. You get the salary, you spend the salary and so on. But the action point here is that when you are meeting with Finns, you're getting to know Finns, don't ask like how much money they make. This is kind of no-brainer. If you enter an apartment, house, just take your shoes off at the entrance. Because if you would wear your outdoor shoes inside, it would get really shitty and muddy inside, and why would you want to do that to your Finnish buddies? But however, if you enter a restaurant or even many workplaces, wearing shoes is most likely fine. I have been to some workplaces where they actually tell you to take off your shoes, but they will let you know if you have to do that. The rule of thumb, when you enter an apartment or house, place where people actually live, just take off your shoes. You can leave it at the entrance. You don't have to leave them outside of the entrance. That's not really what you have to do. Somewhere enter entrance and you'll be fine.
Are you kidding me?
Finland doesn't really have that surprising table habits. If you just use common sense, you'll be fine. But one thing that you definitely don't want to do is wear a hat while you're eating, because that's gonna be very disrespectful towards the food and the other people at the table. For example, when I was in the army, even when we had food in the forest or in the nature, we had like a training, we always were told to take off our helmets, even in the winter when we were eating. So it kind of tells like how important rule this is for Finns. So if you're that type of person who likes to wear a hat indoors, well, wearing a hat indoors like in living places and restaurants is already kind of like I would say that's a no-no. But at least if you're just gonna sit at the table, enjoy whatever food, take off your hat. Take off your hat, because that's gonna get really nasty looks from Finns if you do it. The Finnish streets are super clean, super beautiful, and this is actually something that came to me as a surprise when I've been doing live streams in Helsinki, and people have always been commenting that, wow, the streets are so clean and stuff. But do you know why they are actually clean? Because we don't litter. So don't leave any trash in the streets. Sometimes the streets can be kind of messy after some big celebrations or festivals, but they actually clean quite quickly. But make sure to do your part.
And after the dinner we went to this bar, we had lots of good time, there's a lot of good people out there. Oh, was it the new bar at the center?
Don't interrupt.
You know, some say that it's difficult to get Finns to talk. So once you do, you better listen, because interrupting in Finnish or in Finland is kind of, well, not good. Because in some cultures and countries, what I've heard is that the interrupting is a sign that you're actively participating in the conversation. But in Finland, don't talk over when someone else is talking, unless you have a really good reason to do so. So if you have something to say, just wait until they're finished, pun intended, and then you can say whatever you have in mind. So make sure to wait your turn. This applies in business, in everyday conversations and so on. So make sure to listen, and then tell you what you have to say. Some countries have this tipping culture where it's actually kind of rude not to leave a tip, but in Finland you don't have to worry about this because the tips are kind of built in the prices already. So you don't really have to worry about that the staff, the waiters and waitresses are not paid enough because they get a part of their salary from tips. But in Finland you don't have to do that because the prices already include the service fee. From a personal perspective, I never even think about tipping when I go to a restaurant, but unless I get like this super duper ultra fantastic service from someone, and then I would have to tip. So the takeaway here is that the staff are not expecting you to tip. But if you want to tip, that's fine, but not necessarily at all. So Finns definitely are this type of silent, a little bit calm people in their everyday life. So if you go into public places like shopping malls, public transportation, libraries, don't raise your volume or your noise level, because that's gonna piss Finns off. For example, in buses and transportation, you can definitely be on the phone.
But don't raise the level like this, because that's gonna be goddamn annoying.
For the last thing, I have got lots of comments from people who are kind of nervous and worrying about the fact that if they will deal with Finns or if they will piss Finns off. Don't worry about it, because if you just use your common sense, you will most likely be fine. And like in many other countries, if you are a foreigner, you kind of have this like the get out of the jail free card. So if we see some foreigner make a mistake with the customs, then we think, okay, maybe he's just learning or he or she's learning and it will be fine. So no, don't worry about it. And if you want to understand Finnish people better, speaking the language is the key.
This was a perfect watch for me. I literally enjoyed every bit of it. I felt like he took his time to explain. And secondly, I feel like the Finnish people are different people entirely. Their kind of reasoning is different. And the fact that the country, I keep saying the country is built on trust. And yeah, if you're a foreigner, I know you're going to find it more difficult when you get to the country, but with time, trust me, I feel like you will adapt, you know. He mentioned a few words here, like literally in the environment, raising your voice in public, and them loving their space at the same time. Like a lot he mentioned here, which most people have actually said in their videos, and I got to find out more about that particular country. And I can tell you for free, I literally love how they are. I love their personality. It's good, right? Let me know your thoughts, guys, on the comment section. And if you're not from Finland and you visited Finland before, what was your experience like, right? Let's interact on the comment section. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in my next